Back-to-back 38 specials for your favorite Foxboro football team have the good vibes rolling in Patriot Nation once again. As we saw against Indianapolis, 12-10 is magical and historical. But when it comes to getting the electricity on the team rolling, this one goes to 11.
I don't know, Nick. I mean, Sony Michel, he still sucks. I don't know. He could have had a stiff arm. Did look like a first-round pick to me. I don't know what anybody thinks about this guy.
All this and so much more coming up on another episode of Foxboro and Friends. Foxboro freaks, football geeks, Pats pals the world over. Welcome back to the Fitzatorium for another exciting episode of Foxboro and Friends. This is happening, man.
I know. Here we are. We're back in Fitzy's basement again. It's very exciting.
Exactly. I was able to get rid of all the bones and bodies just in time. Smell isn't too bad. Actually, the only smell is A, of victory, and B, of mantasticness. Because you know what? This is what I wore down to the stadium last night. This is what I finished the game and the post game in when I fell asleep on the sofa. Full-blown dad-tasticness. This is what I slept in, and this is what I'm showing in. You know what? And it feels good.
You know what? Just let it. You want to fester in this feeling of, 2 straight wins. We're back on track.
Right.
All is right in the world.
Think about this. Oh, what a difference a day makes, what with the big win in Miami, right? And that's all it takes. Sometimes it's just one single win, one single game that can turn the tides and flip the script. But how about this? Now, we're taping this on a Friday, morning after the Indianapolis win. That's 10 straight mornings, Mike, that you can wake up with the Patriots having won 2 games in a row. You got no excuses to be in a bad mood. You got no excuses to get your bitch on. No hot takes, no radio dicking around. No, you're supposed to actually enjoy this and be happy about the fact that your team went from getting pantsed and embarrassed against Detroit on national television against Matt Patricia to kicking ass and bringing hope and happy back to the nation.
Well, it's not going to matter, though, because you're going to still hear 10 days of complaining if you decide to turn on the airwaves. So,
right.
There's still going to be something to complain about in there somewhere. But, 2 great games. It just feels like order has been restored in the world. The Patriots, for all the talk of no weapons, they look like they had plenty of weapons last night.
Mike, they put up 38 points last night, dude. The Patriots scored 38 points last night. 38 points. And there were 2 interceptions, which, by the way, NFL, we were talking about, we got to fix the targeting rule. Does anyone know what roughing the passer is anymore? Our tips touched. We had crown of the helmet action. That's a little too bromo. Sorry about that. But, nobody knows what a lot of the penalties are anymore. How about, can we have a new stat called half INT or, fumbleception or interrumble or something, because Brady threw 2 picks against the Colts. Neither of them should count on his stat line, but it's okay. He achieved something else historical later on that we'll get to. A monumental night all around. You said earlier, someone's going to find something to complain about.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want to complain about. The fact that the day after a Pats win, this doesn't cost 87 cents anymore.
No, $2.
What's that all about?
It's crazy. Well, they know, they finally got hit to it in 2018. You'd think, why would you attach a promo to the team that wins the most games? You're going to lose money, and they could only do it for so long. So
basically, Belichick and Brady and Gronk are to blame for the fact that you can't get 87-cent coffee anymore after a Pats win. No, I know where it went. To this rip, zip, and pull, to this pull, play, and suck, or whatever that. What's the name of the thing where you
Oh yeah, no, that's only on the large.
Peel, sip, and win.
Yeah, you got to get the large though.
Yeah.
Not the mediums, not so much.
That's right. You got to go large when you're talking Foxboro and Friends. Peel, sip, and win. That was a fun game I used to play in college. I apologize. #Fitz2.
Too far. Too far. It's a family show. We're trying here.
Right.
Well, it's a morning show. We're hitting. We're drinking our coffee, and we're just trying to enjoy. Just the Patriots getting back.
So what should we call this? Morning schmo?
Morning schmo.
It's morning blow when they lose, and it's morning throw when they win. All right.
Yeah, there was a lot going on last night, and I was getting some texts from you, Nick, and I'm always amazed that people like yourself, Patriots are dominating. They again go into kind of we'll give you the underneath stuff. We'll get and they start playing the long game, but then people like yourself, you start to really make broad generalizations about the defense when they're just kind of playing a win at that point. So what's going on? How do you feel about the defense right now? Getting angry texts.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't have like 2 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, okay, sure. All right, yeah. We're all guilty of, we won't call them hot takes, we'll call them hot texts. But that's the thing. You should be allowed to send.
You're allowed to hot text,
I can't believe you're spilling private, personal, intra-fits to propaganda information here, you son of a bitch.
It's the real.
But a hot text is where you get it out. That's the whole thing.
I like that. I like that.
You build the circle of trust amongst Pat's pals and your Foxboro friends so that you know, like, these are the guys. I can knock a few back and say, like, I don't know, looks like Brady's not as accurate as usual. I think Gronk is hurt. So-and-so lost a step. I don't know about the defense. Look, props and hip-hops, first of all, to the Pats for, you know, make it for putting up enough points to always keep it at an arm's reach, right? But at the same time, I also want to doff the old stinky scally to the Colts because we all thought they were going to be a pushover and a complete walkover.
Andrew Luck, he don't quit.
They played 70 minutes Sunday night, right?
No.
And then he got shoved around, 2 sacks by Clowney last Sunday in the loss at home against Houston, 2 sacks by the human CrossFit machine, J.J. Watt. So he had to have been feeling, that was one battered and bruised Civil War general that was coming in, right? But now you can see his arm strength is back. The young receivers are pretty good too. And somehow, I'm not sure if it's just that he came alive in the spotlight, which he never really had in Detroit, or maybe it's just, you know, hashtag the Patriot effect. But Eric Ebron finally became the fantasy threat that we all thought he could be when all of us would draft him and then 3 weeks in kick his ass to the curb and you'd see him sitting there on the fantasy waiver all year like, hi guys, it's me, Eric Ebron. Doesn't anyone need a bye week tight end?
I know, there he is for taking. I mean, I hate to reference past tweets I made, but sometimes, like, you know, you make a point like succinctly in a tweet and I always feel like it's the same thing. It's like, wow, Andrew Luck looked great in that loss with a bunch of scrubs around him. You know, like he always
but he
loses a game. He looks
night.
Amazing, and you're like, he's great, but he's got nothing to work with, and he gets killed every game. And you know, he showed again. You know, like they're never quite out. Like they're always kind of on the fringes. He doesn't give up. So kind of waiting for him to get traded to another team and like just kind of start
Andrew
over.
Luck?
Yeah, you know.
Oh
like,
hell no! I see.
Like,
well,
he just needs to feel like a start over with like, a new team.
Well, I think he'd
be so much better. I feel.
I think his do-over. I think like the Hollywood do-over for Andrew Luck came in the form of not McDaniels going to the Colts, but rather Frank Reich. When Frank Reich, which is a much better Reich than the third Reich. I think we just...
as far as Reichs go.
As far as Reichs go. Frank Reich. You write that right?
Reich checks.
Yeah, exactly. Frank Wycheck, and then, Reich checks, and then... no, but I think what's going on in Indy right now, and this is all the time I want to spend discussing him, but I feel like it's kind of like because the Pats were able to keep him under thumb for the whole game, because the Pats moved the ball at will on him, and because you're always going to love the Patriots beating the Colts because Deflategate, because rivalry, because Foxborough, and because you're a Pats fan. I see a lot of good things going on there. I would say the 3 contributing factors for Indianapolis getting their ass together and getting their act together is A, Chris Ballard taking over for that factory of human sadness, Ryan Grigson, that douche whistle, that dick magnet that started the whole Deflategate thing. Awful GM. The GM stood for gigantically mismanaged. That guy was the pits. 2, Frank Reich seems like the perfect fit as opposed to McDaniels. McDaniels belongs in Foxborough, calling plays for TFB, maybe one day taking over for the hooded BB. And they do a great job. And they're making jazz again. We got the band back together. Yeah. It's at full Foxborough force. Yeah. And the third thing is Andrew Luck's healthy again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think those 3 things, you got good drafting by Chris Ballard now. The rivalry's back on. Well, you're going to have to win a game, Indy, to actually make it a rivalry. But in a couple of years, I saw some good lateral pursuit speed from the Colts defense last night. And they got a couple young weapons. So they'll be fun. This is going to be fun to watch in the future. I think Colts Pats is going to be fun again.
Yeah, well, and that'll do it for the episode of Colts and Friends this morning.
Kicking it with Colts.
Thank you, fans of Indianapolis, for joining us. So the Patriots.
I want to make it seem like we're decent fans, like we can actually give some love.
Nah,
right.
they're not here for that. They don't care.
Fuck them.
They just want to make the banner of Colts. All
right, fine.
We were down by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Hang a banner right now. My God, I smell awful. Oh, I love it. Oh, just soak it up. That's the smell of victory right there. All right, fine. Hang a banner right now drop a banner in the middle of this, like a finalist banner that says Fitzy talked about the Colts for 2 minutes.
Well, they should have done it when the whole Colts defense like had a team pose, like you know what I mean? It was like they were down like
someone did
14 points, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Like it's a whole like thing. They're all, you know, it's like an album cover. Everybody's looking in different directions.
What was that all about? All right. 2 things on that. One. If you follow a lot of the same people we do on Twitter and whatnot, then you're going to probably have seen all the awesome fake finalist banners that came up last night, like Indianapolis finally scored, or Indianapolis gave up touchdown 500 to Tom Brady, et cetera, et cetera.
It's beautiful.
And they're all trollicious, and I can't get enough of them. But 2, Indy, dude, guys, act like you've been there before, because, like you said, posing for a picture in the end zone after picking off a ball that was bobbled by Gronk and taking the team photo.
Fumbleception.
You got a Larry Fitzgerald that action. Turn it right over. Act like you've been there before. Well, maybe take it to the sideline and maybe squeeze it to see if it's got the right air pressure.
Deflategate.
But also the best celebration last night by far was Chung when he got that one at the end of the first half.
Karate Kid.
Doing the Karate Kid on Harmon.
Harmon did the wobble too. I thought it was a little Mortal Kombat-y, you know, where it's like finish him. That kind of felt. I was like at first I was like,
that's what it
Mortal
was?
Kombat or Karate? I couldn't tell, but he did the crane kick, so you got to go Karate Kid.
No, I'm gonna go. No,
I mean,
you're
if
right.
he threw a chain and like pulled them over, then I would, you know, then all right, that's clearly Mortal Kombat. But I think it was crane kick, right? I mean,
I think so, but but Johnny Lawrence never wobbled.
Yeah, I know. That's what, you know, threw it off a little bit for a second. I didn't know. You know, this is we get in depth with the analysis here.
All right, we want to hear from you guys. Weigh in right now. Do you think Patrick Chung's end of first half celebration, where he fake kicked Daron Harmon, was that Karate Kid or was that Mortal Kombat? You know what? You have the best first world football problems.
Oh, I know.
When on your basement-based Facebook, YouTube, Pat's talk show, you're talking about, hey, which movie or video game did they reference when they did that celebratory interception thing?
And I think Jonathan Jones yelled, "Get him a body bag," too. So maybe that gave it away. That might have been another hint.
Cut to Belichick on the sideline. He's going full Martin Crease. All right, let's look at both sides of the ball real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
You tell me what you saw from the defense first, because I did send I did hot text you
your
in the
hot
game.
Text, the
guys were open.
I know.
Mike, I hate to be like, I don't know, Maz. Guys were open.
But here's the thing. When you're, all right, so you get down to that, you're in the lead, you're going to start playing zone defense, you know, you back up. So, like, you know, if you have a down, pressure doesn't quite get there, the guy finds a hole in the zone, you tackle him. I mean, I got to look at it, you know, to see exactly what was going on. But I don't know. I just try not to overact. But I thought the funny thing about your hot text was, like, right after you sent it was the Josh Gordon. It was like the sequence that like totally blew the game open. It was like the Josh Gordon one, the pick, and then the Sony Michel run. So it was like all of a sudden it went from like it's getting hairy to like, oh no, now it's, you know, now it's not
24-3 at the half. And then the Colts put up 2
17,
right now I know it could have been 38-17 or whatever if there weren't the 2 picks.
Yeah.
But the third down completion percentage for the Colts was a lot higher than it was for the Patriots.
I mean, I think
some nice balls.
It's beautiful balls. I mean, look, I don't think, like, and does anyone expect a perfect defensive performance at this point? Not yet. I mean, there's definitely still things to be concerned about, but, I mean, I think what's clear is that Patrick Chung is awesome, Trey Flowers is awesome, and they better sign that guy sooner than later because he is just an animal out there. You know, and they were pretty fortunate as far as injuries and stuff. I mean, there's definitely moments, but, I mean, what I like about the defense was that even when they were giving stuff up, people were getting tackled immediately and hard by a bunch of guys. So it's gang tackling now. It's not what we saw those 2 weeks on the road where guys are making catches, they break a tackle, they run for 10 more yards, another guy tackles him, he spins for 3 more yards. You know, like that's the stuff you were seeing that was like kind of disheartening. Right. But, you know, it's like, look, as long as they're in the area, they're making them work for every yard. That's the Patriots defense. And if they give up some yards when they're up 14, you know, that's not the end of the world.
Guys were open a lot, and I said things out. But that's the best thing you're supposed to do. Say those things out loud. Get them out while you can, so you don't carry them over. And if you feel like you need to communicate it with someone, if you're watching by yourself in the second half, you hot text a buddy who you hope isn't going to let everyone know that you hot text.
I think we got a new Foxboro and Friends segment, which would be Nick's hot text, and then
the old Fitzy
we'll
hot
put
text.
Out like, you know, you totally losing your mind because it's like it's 54-17.
I can't believe
they're only 6 touchdowns back.
All I'm saying is that the Colts were able to mount a little bit of a comeback and make that a little tighter.
That's Andrew Luck's thing.
That's what I was saying. That's why I gave them their props and hip hops early on, because I think the Colts actually gamed up last night. This wasn't, dude. Well, I mean, 7-0 within like a couple of minutes right out the gate.
Then you're playing from in front.
They're playing from in front, so they start getting a little close. Pats got a little sloppy, but then of course there was the flip of the script and things look better. Yeah. All I'm going to say is that, you know, as someone who's been watching football their entire life and can remember all the ups and downs of the very, very super bendy, sometimes breaky defense of the past 10 years or so.
Yeah.
Gone, it seems, are the Kyle Arrington turnaround. The only one who's usually guilty of that is Eric Rowe.
No, I know.
Nice job, by the way, being very peaceful in his clapback this week on Twitter. I thought Rowe handled that with 4 agreements style. If you guys don't know that, take a look. I think it's like E Rowe or Eric Rowe 25. He did a great job answering the haters on Twitter this week. But also, the one thing I'm noticing too, I'm glad you brought it up on the defense, is that gone is the whole, I'll call it like the Badamosi effect. No, I'll call it the Jordan Richards effect, where it's like that guy caught a 3-yard ball. All they got to do is tackle him within 5 yards, and they would just try and shoulder tackle him.
Yeah.
Like Aguilar gets taken down by Badamosi in Super Bowl 52 with good tackling. So the fundamentals are getting stressed. You feel like Brian Flores is there, just
I do. Yeah.
This is how you tackle, motherfuckers.
And I love watching the all-22 of the defense. I mean, trying to study the defense, understand it. I maybe made it to middle
sits
school.
down with a nice little cap, pours a little Apothic red, gets some dark chocolate, lowers the lights, puts on Barry White.
Well, I'll tell you, that's how it was for watching the Miami game last week, where I was like, this is my favorite film watch of all time, because it was super short and everything was just great. You're like, wow, this took me 30 minutes. Usually it's a good hour, but
I think it's good actually that there was, because Miami was 38-7, this was 38-24. I'm glad actually there was a comeback now, because instead of just riding high and coasting, now we got they get the weekend off, so they can rest up and heal up, hit the tub. Don't worry about the club, watch a little football themselves, and then they got some teaching moments. And if there's going to be a game you want to coach up.
Oh, yeah, Kansas City better be ready. Right. I mean, they're going to stress everything the Patriots haven't done well. But, they also got turnovers. And, defensively, I'm really happy with where they're at. They all seem on the same page. I mean, 3 out of the 5 games, they've looked really in sync. I mean, and I would say they've looked better in those 3 games than really I remember them looking under Matt Patricia early. I'm not trying to get in who's better, blah, blah, blah. But they just look all on the same page in those 3 games. I know those other two games were very bad, but it just goes to show, football's a game where everybody's coordinated, everybody's tackling and playing good fundamentals. It doesn't matter if you have Lawrence Taylor on one side and Jason Taylor on the you can
Sounds
win
like an
with
awesome
those
defense.
guys. I know it would be. It sure would be.
I know.
but
that's the thing. That's
you can't go back in time.
You can't play actual football on Madden.
So
no, it's good. Defensive improvements are being had.
Yeah.
The coverage just still gets a little. I know that's the Belichickian principle, and I know
it's conservative, man. That's how he does it. I know. It's frustrating.
But 24-17.
Yeah.
You were I think everyone, you could hear that was the only time.
Oh, too late for
that you could hear a little noise. Yeah,
this is Thursday night.
You wrote that same day. You're telling me that I got
my tweets.
You.
That's all I got.
You put in one of your tweets this is too much. This game is too close on a Thursday night. F you.
Well, I was just stressed because I'm like, oh God, I'm like, it's 11 o'clock at night on a Thursday.
So
I got one eye awake, and I'm like, now I got to worry about winning the game. But then then they pulled away, and I was.
This is how. See, Mike swallows his stress. Mike is a stress bottler. I'm a stress peddler.
You spit the stress out. I swallow the stress.
It's like John Henry's black flies in the Green Mile. I know they're not good for me. They're just going to eat me up inside. So I just got to take the evil.
Let it out.
And I let it out.
Spew it on someone else. Be like, you deal with this, Mike.
If you're going to spew into this. And that's actually me doing talk to text hey, that's propaganda.
Yeah.
Too many guys are open on third down.
The Wayne's World reference too. Anytime we're in your basement and we do Wayne's World, I mean, that's, the ding, good stuff.
Sometimes I was watching the defense. I'm having fun. All right, real quick on the offense. Noah's Arcade. Yeah. It's cool. It's fresh. All right, real quick on the offense. It's as simple as this. Edelman came out.
Yeah.
Everyone watched the video of Edelman running out of the tunnel, leading the team out. Couldn't contain himself. He had the hops like he was practicing with Gordon Hayward. He had the hops like he was D'ing up with Rob Ninkovich for those couple weeks. So he had fresh legs. The joint's holding up just fine. That kind of joint, not the other kind. Take your mind out of the Josh Gordon gutter because he's clean and that's how we're going to keep him. But also, he was the spark for the offense. He did open up the middle of the field. Good Lord, what could the score have been if he held on to that ball?
I know.
The one that was
I knew
Brady
that was
put it
coming.
exactly.
I know. I'm like, there's going to be a bad Edelman drop tonight.
No, we're going to get one visit from the worst clown there is, Klaus von Dropsies. He was going to swing back. Oh, it was too perfect. But Edelman ignited the offense. Sony Michel. Take all your Maz takes. He sucks. He can't do it now.
God.
I mean, he's got almost Dave Brown from the Concord Monitor is a
Yeah.
great follow,
Yeah.
and he like lives to just like get right under the skin of so many
Troll
people.
the trolls.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly. He's like a dragonfly. He eats
Yeah.
mosquitoes. He trolls the trolls.
Yeah.
That's why at that Dave Brown is a great
Yeah.
follow. He pointed out that through 4 games, because even though the Pats are 5 in, Sony Michel inactive for the first week, his yards per carry, and touchdowns are like right there with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And the kid hits the hole. He caught a screen pass and kind of Kamared his way for 20-something last night as well.
Yeah.
And now you can see, now we're starting to see exactly why the Pats invested high equity, pick number 31. I think that's the old Ben Watson pick, in Sony Michel. Gronk looked pretty good if it wasn't for the one thing where he couldn't turn and bring it into his body and lead to the Brady fumbleception. Hogan's getting back to his role. We'll address that a little. We got a few thoughts on him we'll get to in viewer mail. The line was moving around. I thought, like I said earlier, Indy had good lateral speed in pursuit of like a lot of the jet sweeps and a lot of the toss and pitch plays. But by and large, like this is the offense. This was the fully operational Patriots Death Star that we were looking for.
Yeah.
And dude, Josh Gordon, Brady's 500th, the 71st person to catch a touchdown from him, and he does it in a way that reminded everyone. I think you said it and did it.
Moss.
Somebody actually did somebody put the two of them together in a GIF.
June Lee. Yeah, I tweeted that one out this morning. Yeah,
dude, that's
good.
awesome. You can see Moss catching that one against Miami, and
4 dudes, and he just overjumps everybody, and that was such a feel-good moment. Like, I mean, that was just, and it made it so I didn't have to reply to your text.
Right.
I could just write, wow. Like, that was a good play. We don't have to worry anymore. But yeah, it's like, it just shows when everybody is in their role, how versatile this offense is and how many different ways. I mean, Indy was so on their heels. They didn't know what was coming next. Is it going to be a Josh Gordon deep shot? Is it going to be Edelman underneath? Is it Gronk up the seam? And I mean, James White, we got to talk about that guy. I mean,
he's the best. He's
the best. And like, I'm hard on him because I'm like, well, I don't really like when they open the game with him and like try to run him up the tackles. But when he's functioning within their passing offense and they're executing, he's impossible to stop. I mean, and he's so smooth. And like, I was a big Dion Lewis fan, but I mean, you can see why they gave James White the
somebody crushing on James White.
I know. Well, I haven't given him enough love.
Everything's going to be all white.
When a game plays totally into like what they're doing, it's just it's so obvious how good they are at. Here's a little Patterson, here's a little Gordon. I mean, if these guys stay healthy, and it's like why it's like 2 weeks ago we're like they don't have any weapons. It's like.
Well, to
weapons now.
To the whiskey dick, offensive ineptitude that they displayed in Detroit versus what they're doing now, it's night and freaking day. Now, if you look at the progression of like over the years, like for the Brady Binky, the third down pass catching back, right? So J.R. Redmond almost first accidentally became him in the final drive of Super Bowl 36, but then Kevin Falk really exemplified the role, right?
Yep.
And then we got it with Woodhead for a couple of years. And he did it. Woodhead was a deceptively good pass catching back too. Then it went to Vereen. And then we had a little Dion Lewis, a little James White, and now this is firmly James White's
He's right up there.
And he's so freaking good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's remarkable. I mean, I just stay healthy. Now I'm on the point every time he gets tackled, I'm like,
Exactly. You just stay healthy, keep up in the field. I think like as long as Brady's got him. What did Brady say after the Detroit game? I need more James White out there.
More White.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. And when Belichick picks up receivers, he says the exact same thing. That was the most offensive New England thing I could have possibly ever said. My apologies to Adam Jones and everyone else that's ever seen a game at Fenway. Go Sox. All right, things are looking good. So should we answer the people's questions?
Yeah, so we got some good questions today. And
wait a second. Hold on, Mike. You got to do it. You got to do it like we're doing a show.
Sorry.
Hey, let's answer your questions in a little segment called Viewer Mail.
Wait, that's a great title we came up with, Viewer Mail. It's so maybe we should come up with something better. It's like viewers. They sent.
We got like a little graphic and a little piece of music.
They mailed in the questions last week via snail mail. They stamped it. They mailed it in. We got them here at Nick's house. But
so here's the funny thing that you guys actually knew what questions to ask about the Indy game before the game. You guys are like wicked smart.
I mean, well, it's perfect. From Mike Guitarist here on Twitter. Is the defense still a liability? They looked good against poor teams and started to crack later in the game yesterday. So I mean, either I guess you could pretty much say that. that any week that they're always cracking towards the end. But I'm going to go ahead and say no. I don't think. I mean, I think the defense is real good. I think they're going to be challenged against the Chiefs, especially, and they still have a ways to go, especially on third down. I think that pressure's got to be a little bit more consistent. But if the top line of guys stay healthy, which is obviously asking a lot, they're playing really well. Jason McCourty's gotten in. He's done a great job replacing Malcolm Butler.
I can't believe Jason McCourty's now the star of a new show that I don't want to watch called The Better McCourty.
Oh. Well,
no. Listen, I want.
You can play corner. No, listen.
I've got nothing but love, and I've got nothing but love for the McCourtys. These guys are pillars. They're community leaders. Devin McCourty, obviously, you heard that pregame speech that he did that went viral on Instagram and Twitter last week. It was like the Monday motivation moment from the NFL. So McCourty's got all heart, and he's still a rock solid safety, and he's done so much for this team for literally almost a decade. But he may be dragging a step because it wasn't even just Ebron. Like someone named Swoop who came. Someone swooped in, got called up. Swoop, there he is. And if it wasn't for like a little ruling with the foot going out, McCourty would have been burned for all 3 touchdowns last night.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think like my thing with McCourty is like he's the best as a free safety, and that's and then so when we get into the third down and he comes down, he's got to play man on a guy, and they're usually switching up, so they're trying to disguise.
Chung's the better safety on a tight end.
Maybe Chung's covering this guy, maybe he isn't. He can be burning coverage, and that's why he wasn't a great corner. That's why they moved him away from being a cornerback. So I think on those certain times when the quarterback is able to process and find and have a minute, guys can get open on McCourty. Yep. But I think what he brings on early downs in terms of the communication, organizing the back end of the defense, that's like where his real value is. And, it's hard to judge him on that third down, covering the running backs, running straight down the field, he got away from him. Yeah. It's a little bit nitpicky, but, but like as a whole, the secondary is playing great. Jonathan Jones is really come on.
That kid looks good. J.C. Jackson's good. I feel like Gilmore also like brings his A game against better receivers as well. Like
silent assassin.
Dante Moncrief catches a touchdown against him, gives up a couple last night against guys that you may never hear from again. But then when he's got to cover like the big guy in the big moment, I feel like Gilmore definitely has a little rise to the occasion as well.
He's
to
so
himself.
Smooth, and I mean that's just
D-line's looking better. Is the defense a liability?
The defense is a liability in this NFL because every NFL team, especially the good offenses, are designed to be able to move the ball. Like that's how they've rigged the whole NFL. So in certain games,
it's the fantasy football. It's the act. You can't play Madden out there, but they're playing fantasy football.
They're tackling well. They're getting turnovers, which is, that you can save the most terrible defense in the world.
He straight up robbed that kid at midfield. Like, that wasn't like a strip and fumble. That was just no, I gave up that touchdown to Ebron.
It's the Brewski. It's like the Brewski.
It was the Brewski
play. I mean, there were so many like callbacks in this game.
No, it's mine.
It's like we've been doing this for so long. You're like, that was just like 2004 playoffs. That was just like 2007 in Miami. It's so funny how you kind of these things kind of come around.
You know how like baby boomer has to be like born between a certain year, and then it was Gen X, and then it's Gen Y and millennials. Brady has actually played through like 2 generations. Like Brady has Brady has played through Gen X into Gen Y, and now he's a millennial quarterback.
It's like my whole adult life. Like my whole adult life has been Tom Brady and the Patriots. I'm like, what is going to happen? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm not getting. I mean, Les, I'm not.
Well, it's good that you brought up McCourty because we had from IB32, we had a good question about McCourty, and it seems like he keeps getting dusted. And he
might have lost a step, so they're going to figure it out, and we'll get into when we preview the Pats-Chiefs game. We'll get into exactly how we think they're going to handle that. But someone else who's been raising a couple brows at Milady Callahan asks, or rather just states, Hogan, discuss. I don't want to get into the fumbleception or the Interuski, the first one of the 2 last night for Brady. More so, now he's back in his role. Yes, it's been a rough start, and everyone said, like, this is the Patriots guy you're going to want to pick first in fantasy. I drafted James White, and I have been reaping benefits in the flex and in the running back position all season long. James White, sweet feet, you and me. But Hogan, I think he's finding his role now.
Yeah,
I think he's getting back to like he's an over middle.
He is. That's exactly what he is. And you saw it from the targets out of the slot when Edelman was out. You've got Hogan running a ton of slot routes and not a ton of targets.
Right.
And now when you get into that intermediate role where, the guy in 2016, he led the league in yards per catch. So, that's where he's most effective.
Remember remember that bomb he caught against Baltimore Monday Night Football?
Oh, that was awesome. That blew it open. I know, that was a good one.
It was literally between, like 30 yards between him and everyone else.
Oh, yeah, so beautiful.
I screamed so loud in a bar. Yeah, I did Hogan. Hogan.
Yeah, man.
And he's going to get back to that. Over the next couple of weeks, everyone who's like, Hey, everyone who is hot texting like, he sucks. I can't believe I wasted a 4th-round pick on him. Trust me, over the next couple weeks, I think Chris Hogan is going to get back to fantasy relevance. He may not have the game that he had in Super Bowl 52, we'll say, or like when he caught that bomb against Baltimore Monday Night Football in 2016. But I think Hogan's going to find his game again.
Yeah.
Stick with him.
The question is he's a free agent, so how do you value him? I mean, I feel like, do you value him as a third corner? I mean, it'd probably be a third wide receiver, right? I mean, you can't, so I don't know. It's just interesting. Like,
well, isn't Edelman coming up too, or is this Edelman have one more year?
Yeah. Well, Edelman's got one more year. I mean, it's going to be interesting to kind of play it out. But Edelman looks great.
If Josh Gordon develops, and he needs a couple other games. Next one, Mikey.
What should Sony's nickname be?
Yeah.
We need it. He sucks.
Yeah.
The guy who used to suck.
Busted pick.
Busted pick.
Dead weight.
Not a first rounder.
Yeah.
That stiff arm he
Human
gave,
garbage.
That stiff arm just was like, that was, I mean, first you had the moment where he plowed into the end zone and that poor Colt's head just bounced off of his shoulder pad, which I put out a call to Twitter. I haven't gotten it yet to try to get somebody to put in Maz's head, and like Maz's head just bouncing off his shoulder pad. Like,
the internet remains undefeated.
Come
Someone
on,
out
internet.
there, come on, gift that up. Tell you what, if you do, we'll send you a free Foxboro and Friends gift pack. That includes some T-shirt that Mike was sent that he doesn't want, and a couple of GFY stickers. But hey, that beats a sharp stick in the eye or crabs and ice water for breakfast,
You can come and sit right here in the middle, and we'll talk Pats with you. But, you know, I mean, and then the stiff arm. I mean, it's like, oh, this is what a first-round pick looks like. So I can't wait to not hear Maz dodge and weave everything today. But
I can't wait to not listen to sports radio for 10 days.
I know.
I can't wait to wake up feeling good every day.
You know,
I like looking forward to talking Pats. I like looking forward to reading, Mike Reese articles. I like looking forward to, and I especially like looking forward to other people being pissed that Josh Gordon caught a touchdown. I like other people being pissed that the Pats look good again.
Licking the tears.
Or other people being upset knowing like Belichick's probably going to trade for an edge defender or a safety before the trade deadline who's going to come in a la Jonathan Casillas or Akeem Ayers and add that little extra something that they're going to need. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get on a whole diatribe, but I mean, Adam Jones, that guy is the worst. I mean, it sounds like
why are you even giving him the time of
I know.
day?
It's just like, I'm like, do you even enjoy watching sports? Like, it's like, it's completely devoid of fun. It's just a bitch fest about who stinks and whose fault it was. And it's like, don't people just want to enjoy
That's exactly
sports?
what it is.
Like,
we have a tick problem in New England. Yeah. Obviously we do because Lyme disease came from Connecticut. Oh, thanks for the Wikipedia entry, Fitz.
That's true.
But also we have a tick problem in sports media because what do these guys do? They bite. You can't get them out. They burrow under your skin, and then you spend all this time. And you know what they do? They're parasitic. Yeah. They feed off of you. They find your anxiety, your fangxiety, as I like to call it. They find these little spots and weaknesses, and they just suck the blood, and they live off you. Don't do it. Burn them off. Be done with them.
Yeah. Stick with us.
Sony's nickname, I got it. My brother came up with this. Trinitron.
I love it.
The Sony Trinitron.
Yeah,
we got Minitron and Trinitron.
We got Trinitron, the old shitty TV.
Yeah, exactly. it lumbers, but the colors are wicked sharp, and it performs. And finally, friend of show, Super Pat's pal at the Jennifer Effect. Mikey, what did she write again? It was beautifully worded.
Oh God! All right, hold on.
I think it was on a scale of.
Here it is. I got it. On a scale of 1 to Ativan, how concerned should we be about facing Mahomes, and is their defense a credible threat? I mean, I think it's
Want to answer that in the preview?
Sure.
Okay.
Should we introduce the preview?
Yeah, I guess. Thank you, Thank you at the Jennifer Effect. And by the way, if anyone needs custom kicks. Wants to buy awesome acrylic art and so much more, at the Jennifer Effect is your go-to. If you've ever seen those customized Pat's kicks that I wear, she did those.
She's amazing.
She is boss.
Pat's artist. I mean, that's the best. It's a great combination.
Super fan.
All right, let's play the intro to
preview. So that's perfect. So what do we call this one? Oh, this segment is called...
We preview next week's game.
No, it's called We're On to Blank.
We're on to blank.
All right, we should do that again. Whoever it is.
3, 2. We're on to blank.
All right, so KC.
It's a great match. Look, this is what you get excited about.
Because we're recording this before the Jags game.
We're recording this before the Jags game.
Right.
We have no idea how that's going to go.
So for all we know, Calais Campbell could literally rip Patrick Mahomes' dick off for all we know.
Well, it's
or
great
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey could both be in jail, which would be fine, by the way.
But I mean, I think the Chiefs are good. I mean, they're scrappy and they can challenge you in a bunch of ways. They got a ton of speed. I mean, we've seen it. 2014, last year's opener, how good they are. And these are the kind kind of games where it's like I'm not trying to get too caught up in what does it all mean, how it goes. It's just like a sit back and enjoy a great football matchup.
Way too existential.
I know. It's like, hey, if we're 3-3, it's not the end of the world. It's 4-2 when you beat them. It's going to be amazing. But I think they're going to challenge us like they always do. And
I think Miami's going to lose Sunday, and I think the Pats will technically be atop the AFC East, which is going to add a little extra juice. I do think Kansas City is going to somehow survive that game. I don't know how necessarily, but
just like they survived against the Broncos. I mean,
that was an incredible. And they got off to a slow start. It was on the road. It's super noisy at Mile High, GFY, Sky, Invesco Field, whatever. The switch into the left-hand thing Mahomes does, like, this kid's incredible. I mean, obviously, like,
it's great for football.
Exactly. We can appreciate this stuff every now and again. I think the Colts being better is great for a rivalry that technically Chris Ballard, you're right, may be back on again one day soon. Patrick Mahomes being good.
The rivalry's back on.
Rivalry's back on.
It was off before, but right now it's back on.
All right, it's back on. It's back again. It's like the new Magnum, except it doesn't suck as much. But it's definitely got a Selleck stash, or it should.
The Colts.
Mahomes is awesome. Mahomes boy is the real deal, and the Chiefs have absolutely no defense. So we're going to need at least another 38 special in Foxborough to get that job done. Kelsey's going to stress the middle. Hopefully, maybe it's going to be like, maybe they'll attach a corner to him with McCourty over top, which may leave Gilmore and ISO against Tyreek Hill. And as he says on his Twitter handle, I'm faster than you. So you got to have to watch out for the deep ball there. Kareem Hunt can play, is a rock solid. He's like a smaller Sony Michel. He's super good.
We need no introduction to him after last year's opener.
I know. Since we gave him it was a welcome to the NFL party.
Well, it was. Yeah, it literally was.
Literally was. I don't want to go back to that.
Opponent.
But I think it's going to be a different. I think it's going to be a different game because maybe the Patriots will go with one of those like cocktail party kind of defenses where you got a lot of like linemen standing up.
I know it's going to be tough, and especially you're pulling Hightower off on third downs now, so that's kind of an admission that he isn't quite the same kind of runner that he used to be. So the lack of athleticism at the second level, it's always been a thing. Roberts, Van Noy, we need those guys to really play well, and because it's
Roberts is a run stuffer, and you can't ask him to be that much more like, hey, you want the car fixed? Don't go to plumber.
Yeah, he drops it hard. I mean, you can tell it's like you could see him being like, I suck at coverage, I got to get back. Like he knows,
and so
he's trying
and that's
so
where
hard. And then
hot text O'Reilly comes in because somebody is open 2 yards, and it's 3rd and 6, and Roberts is back up 10, so they complete an 8-yard pass, and I'm like, why do this third down defense is aging me 5 years for every actual year on the inside?
I know.
The Chiefs are going to point up.
Yep.
They're going to stress every aspect of the
it's a good one.
Semi-liability-ish, very bendy, hopefully not too breaky defense. That is going to be, I think everyone's going to get their money's worth as far as Sunday Night Football goes. Yeah. And I kind of hope the Chiefs are undefeated when they come in.
I know. Because I hope so too. Especially because I can't watch the game. I can't watch the game. This is going to be a first for me, but I'm coaching my own hockey team, and we are our first game I'll ever coach, by the way. And I'm going to be wearing a cutoff hoodie of some sort.
Of course,
it's going to be that same night, so I'm going to have to watch it on delay.
That's cool.
So sorry, guys, you won't get my insightful tweets.
Well, who am I going to hot text?
I'm going to get all these like hot texts
myself.
Jesus, they said.
I'm going to end up driving Georgie Kip at the other Pats fan from the shit Pats fan say videos. I'm going to drive George crazy. Actually, I did think I was hot texting you too much, so I switched over and I was toggling over and hot texting Kip last night.
You got to spray, like my different
spraying hot text everywhere.
Yeah.
The Chiefs game, don't expect it. It's not going to be a blowout one way or another. Don't think the Pats offense, just because it's back, they're going to outscore them because they're home or anything. Just make sure, clear your schedule for Monday morning. Let the boss know.
Yeah.
Do a double packy run. Make sure you know where the emergency brown wine or maybe those 2 cigarettes you keep in the back of the freezer for halftime. Oh, I come prepared, dude. Don't think I'm not ready for this game. Exactly. Hey, kids, is that a quarterback? No. It's
a big fat joint.
It's a Parliament 100. Go upstairs. Go watch Paw Patrol. It's gonna be
a good one.
It's gonna be an awesome game.
And maybe we'll be back after that game. Maybe we'll come in
we're hoping
Tuesday
to be back sometime that week.
Yeah.
And also, if fingers crossed, if the stars align and we can get it together too, hopefully I'll actually be back outside right there at the Rodman lot outside of the game for a little Wicked Pissa immediate post game.
Out.
Yeah, talking to the fans
like
out there.
midnight on a Sunday.
I'm that's when I come alive. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm gonna just be feeling it. Well, that's the only. That's the thing. These are the times. These are the big badass games.
Yeah, this is what you got to get hype about.
Right.
If you're only getting excited for how the playoffs end, you're probably going to be disappointed 9 times out of 10, if not more. So it's good. We'll enjoy.
Now you showed up this week. I'm wearing my Run the Jewel shirt because Edelman's back, and the Edelman effect was felt all throughout Patriots Nation, and especially on the field against the Colts Thursday night. You got your hot jacket on, real quick. Let's do a last second check of Mike's hoodie database. Where are we at?
So it was interesting. The first week it's the hot jacket. He's been wearing this. It's surpassed. It's the winningest, the all-time games, all-time winningest.
More New England. If you drink your iced coffee with a styrofoam cup on the outside, they call that a cold cup.
Right.
And now they call these things
hot jacket.
a hot jacket.
I know, well, it's hot outside, but then he went to he went to a new 2016. He went to the old 2016 hoodie that came out and cut it off. It was a gray, but now he's gone back to this one. So we're balanced. We're 2 cut hoodies, 2 hot jackets. It's prime Belichick, and it feels like get a rotation going. It's gonna be perfect, just like the backfield.
What's your So where is the hot jacket now? What is the winningest outfit up to date? I know you.
The hot jacket is the winningest of all time right now.
Really?
And I can
cut off gray, over cut off blue.
The cut off gray Reebok was surpassed last year. So that hoodie that everybody knows Belichick for.
Because if you close your eyes and you say
that's what you
what is
see.
Belichick wearing?
That's
you see
it.
The gray hood up.
But really, you should
hoodie.
see the hot jacket now. You should see this guy, and that's why. That's why I have it, because I'm the keeper of the.
I know. This is so insane. What an awesome thing for someone to be. Mike is like the maester on Game of Thrones.
So he
is the maester of Belichick outfits, and the hoodie database is real. It's real.
It's 46 games for the hot jacket, and it's 35 wins, and 42 games for that blue Reebok cut. He's got 32 wins, so 3 more wins
in the hot jacket.
In the hot jacket.
Wow.
32 and 10.
So this is
35 and 11 for the hot jacket. 32 and 10 for the hoodie. So
really?
It's close.
It's pretty close. So this year, when everyone goes to the Patriots Pro Shop, what's that one thing I don't have? What's that extra little something I need to add to the attire?
They don't sell these anymore.
They don't?
They got to remake them, but they're this is 2013 that these came out. So
the people demand the hot jacket.
I know. Well, they remade the Belichick hoodie. They did a new kind of version of that. So maybe if we make enough noise about the hot jacket.
All right, here's the question that I want to leave you humps with. If either a food or a cocktail was made and we called it the hot jacket, what would it be in it? That's what I like. What would a hot jacket be like?
Specifically for Belichick, or are we just talking generally?
Just make up your own drink or your own rally food or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's even call it a drink. So you freaks, text us up. Mikey's at Pat's Propaganda. Your old pal Fitzy, obviously, at Fitzy GFY. Keep the questions coming. Thoughts, ideas, different things you may want to see on Foxboro and Friends. And of course, if you can come up with an idea for a cocktail called the Hot Jacket, I feel like it would be something like a hot toddy, but just like what you maybe would swap out.
Yeah, it's hard to know if you're are you thinking the drink's going to be hot, or you drink the drink when it's hot? So is it a frozen drink? Is it a hot drink?
No, I want a hot drink. No, we're getting football season.
A hot drink.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate, mint schnapps, maybe.
It's not called a hot toddler. That's a hot toddler. All right, keep the ideas coming. We love all your freaky Foxborough thoughts. Questions welcome anytime. I think that's everything. So Patriots are 3-2. We're on to Kansas City. We're on to feeling good about everything, and we're on to the next episode of Foxboro and Friends. You can join our Facebook page, share the podcast as well. We whip that up, and I think that's that.
That's it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back soon.
LFG, baby.